It is history in the making. UAW striking against the big three American automakers for the first time ever. There were no negotiations today after the UAW president mobilized 3 locals in Ohio, Michigan, and Missouri to go on strike at midnight. Workers held a rally in the last hour in Detroit.
You guys are ready to rumble now, aren't you? We're in it, baby. This is what happens when corporations don't take care of the people.
Ford put out a statement today saying approximately 600 employees in a Michigan assembly plant were told not to come to work today. The company says that layoff is a direct consequence of the strike because the components built by those employees use materials made by the ones who are striking. Here are the vehicles built at the 3 plants up first in this strike. The Ford Michigan assembly plant in Wayne produces the Ford Ranger, the Bronco, 2 of Ford's best-selling vehicles. The Stellantis plant in Toledo makes the Jeep Gladiator, Jeep Wrangler 4xe, and the GM plant in Wentzville, Missouri produces the Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon, both of which are among the best-selling mid-size pickups in the country. President Biden now weighing in this afternoon on the strike and the offers currently on the table. He urged both sides to continue negotiating, but also said he believes the automakers do have more to give.
Record corporate profits, which they have, should be shared by record contracts for the UAW.
Okay, before the strike deadline, GM did sweeten its offer to match Ford's latest offer, offering workers, among other things, a 20% raise. You can see here, John Kosick is with us. The union is holding firm here on its demands, though.
In contract negotiations, we know both sides always come in with their asks. The union calls theirs their demands, and the corporate side calls it their offer. Many are asking right now, in this case, what's fair? Before the UAW launched its targeted strike at 3 plants in Ohio, Missouri, and Michigan, there was a late offer from GM, matching many of the items in Ford's latest offer, including a 20% wage increase with 10% of that in the first year, and other benefits, including increased time off and an increase in retiree health care plans. An offer GM CEO Mary Barra said Friday should have been enough to avoid a strike.
I'm extremely disappointed and frustrated that we're on strike because when you talk about the offer that you just reviewed, the offer is still on the table. And it's a very strong offer.
The 20% wage hike is roughly half of what the union is asking for, though. Ford CEO Jim Farley calling it the company's strongest offer in 80 years.
We are offering an incredible, unprecedented increase. All they want is for everyone to make $300,000. That's not sustainable.
Not quite, argues the union. They want a wage that keeps up with inflation and allows newer employees, especially, to one day afford one of the new cars they're building.
They deserve a middle-class standard of living where they can buy a vehicle, they can buy a home. Workers in the tier system now cannot do that.
Former Chrysler and Home Depot CEO Robert Nardelli sees it from both sides. He labels some of the union demands, like restored pensions, as overreaching. Still, he sees the UAW as being in the driver's seat.
I mean, they look over the fence and they see UPS, 40%. The average full-term driver's making $174,000. You look at American Airlines, you look at the dock workers on the West Coast. UAW is just saying, hey, it's my turn.
Case Western's Jonathan Ernest from the Weatherhead School of Management agrees.
I think that given the success that some unionized workers have had in other industries, I think that's giving some of the confidence to the United Auto Workers to make similar sorts of requests.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt to ask category, even if they know they're not going to get it. The still relatively tight labor market, he says, is benefiting the union compared to 2008 and 2009 when unemployment was high. And that's when they had to make those concessions to save not only their jobs, but GM and Chrysler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And nothing happens today, and we go through the weekend. We'll try again Monday. John, thank you very mumuch. The wage increase the UAW is asking for may sound substantial, but it is not unprecedented. This year, we've seen several major unions negotiate some major pay bumps for workers. Just last month, the Teamsters ratified a new contract for part-time UPS workers, securing them a 48% average wage increase over 5 years' time. American airline pilots will see a 46% wage hike over the next 4 years after the Allied Pilots Association negotiated their new contract last month. Delta pilots received a raise as well this year. The association ratified an agreement in March. It locked down a 34% wage increase over 4 years' time.